In a previous video, I went over the hellscape that is online dating. And oh boy, that sure wasn't divisive at all. So I thought I might as well double down and share my experience going on a first date as an autistic dude. So yeah, on Hinge, I saw an absolutely beautiful girl, and despite being approximately 10 million light years out of my league, she, for some ungodly reason, matched with me? Now you might be thinking to yourself, "Woo! Oh, this boy must have sent the smoothest, wittiest, most thought-provoking message for her to have matched with a dude whose profile picture makes it look like he just got face-fucked by the shrapnel of an exploding hyena."
Yeah, well, you'd think so, but you'd be wrong.
I literally just sent something along the lines of, hey, you're way out of my league, but hi. And not only did I not immediately die of cringe, but I also somehow piqued her interest enough for her to match with this clearly, incredibly insecure individual. But we talked for a week, exchanged numbers, and eventually planned out a date. And as this was my first date ever, I decided to keep things simple and casual and asked her out to a bookstore/cafe one afternoon. And when the day finally arrived, I drove myself down to the gas station to buy some icebreakers and shove those suckers right down my gullet. You know, just in case my breath was stinky. I really don't know if it is. So I arrive and find a parking spot. Now let me paint you a picture. This was a fairly large parking lot, and there weren't that many people there that day. I always like to park farther from the entrance and away from other people because I'm like OCD and shit. So here's where I park, around the middle of the lot, with 0 cars to any side of me. And after spending a few minutes hyping myself up, you know how it is, I'm finally ready to head on inside. But before I can even reach for the door handle, another car pulls up. There are literally 4 dozen other spots open, yet you deliberately choose to park right next to me! It's no different than using the urinal next to someone when all the others are still open. What are you doing? Get away! And as my luck would have it, the person who pulled up right beside me just so happened to have been the girl I was seeing that day. Ah! Why? There were so many spots and you pulled up right next to me. Why? And just like, what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to say, hi, funny meeting you here? It's so awkward. I don't know what to do. So I just do what I always do in any awkward situation. I just whip out my phone and pretend to be on it, as if I wasn't the person she was seeing that day. But eventually she did go inside, and after a few minutes of, just reviving myself from the cringe, I take a deep breath and head on inside. And there she was, and she was, out of my league, that's for sure. Yeah, I could just imagine everyone around us being like, why is that beautiful girl with that gremlin boy? What's going, is she okay? Blink twice if you need the police! Self-deprecation at its finest. So yeah, I'm not really good. I don't know, was I supposed to hug her? Was I supposed to give her a handshake? Was I supposed to, do a little dance? I don't know. So instead, I just decided to greet her in Japanese. No, it's just like, hi, nice to meet you. Want to walk around? And she was just like, yeah. And we walked around browsing books for a while. And so, yeah, that went on for a while. We talked, awkwardly mostly, but talked nonetheless. And we did that for a while until I was like, oh, hey, do you want to grab, a drink, a coffee or something? And she agreed, and we went to the cafe section. Now, this cafe has pastries, they got sweets and coffee and tropical juices. Here's the problem. So she went up and ordered, and I'm just like, I don't want anything. The problem is I don't drink coffee, I don't eat pastries, I don't drink tropical juices. The problem with dating on the spectrum is that I have a very limited palate, like very limited. In terms of full-on meal type foods, there are 3 or 4 that I'll eat. Here, this pretty much sums it up.
Oh, some roast beef, some chicken, a pizza.
So I'm just imagining what's gonna happen when she wants to go out for dinner.
Hey, do you want to go to that new Mexican restaurant down the street?
No, but I could go for
some roast beef, some chicken, a pizza.
Yeah, that'll work out for sure. So I don't end up ordering anything, despite me being the one to suggest we go to the cafe in the first place, so that's definitely not weird. But yeah, despite the awkwardness of me not ordering anything, it actually started going pretty uphill from there. We actually had a really nice conversation for a couple hours, and it ended pretty well. I guess I don't know really what I was expecting. I guess because I see all these dates on movies and TV, and obviously this wasn't like one of those where we went out for like dinner and stuff, where it was just a casual thing, and it was nice. It was definitely scary at first, but it ended up nice. I don't regret it, and I'm proud of myself. All right, that's the first time I ever tired of my there we go. That's the first part of therapy. Gotta say you're proud of yourself. You can't be looking down on yourself. There you go. That's your lesson for today. And I did it. And that was pretty cool. But yeah, first dates are weird. It's basically just an interview where you're just questioning each other about your life and stuff. But instead of getting a job at the end, you might get a hand job at the end. That was clever. I like that. That was good. I just thought of that. Just thought I'm a comedic genius. I know.
Write that down. Write that down.
And you're probably wondering, well, what happened? Are you dating her? What's going on? Well, surprisingly, she agreed to go on a second date. What the fuck?
What?
I don't know why, but she did, and we went out, got some lunch, and it was actually kind of really awkward because I think we talked about, that's the other thing. It's like, what the fuck else do you talk about? I feel like we talked about everything on the first date, and then the second date, what else am I supposed to talk about? I like only a number of things, including, but not limited to, Pokemon, Lego, and cryptids, and let me assure you, she was not a fangirl of any of those. So, what was I supposed to say?
Allow me to indulge you as I recite all 1,025 Pokemon in chronological order, milady.
And so we kind of just there was a lot of silence there, and I didn't know how to fucking break it. See, I'm not really good at the whole small talk thing.
So, do you like stuff?
I don't really understand it. I guess I know a lot of people on the spectrum also are not really good at small talk, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just so awkward. So it ended up being a much shorter date than the first one, and we went our separate ways. Yeah, but later that day she texted me saying, she didn't really feel a spark, and that she respectfully wasn't interested in, going out with me again. Actually, I totally understood. I guess I don't know what a spark feels like because I don't think I've ever felt one, but yeah, I definitely don't think I felt one that day, and I wished her the best of luck, and we parted ways. But yeah, that was that. I'm glad I experienced it. I'm glad I pushed myself to do it. I'm glad I had the opportunity to do it, especially with a girl who's like
10 million light years out of my league.
I'm definitely glad that I went out. My first date was with actually a really sweet girl who was not crazy. And I still really hope she's doing well right now. In the coming months afterwards, I did manage to get a few more first dates, all of whom ended up ghosting me. So, there's that. So yeah, the only one I actually had a good first date with was the original girl. I really peaked right at the beginning there, didn't I? I'm fucked, aren't I?